Ken DeStefanis' passion for the sport of wrestling began early in his life. Following the lead of his older brother Ron, who started the DeStefanis family tradition of wrestling excellence, Ken began a highly successful career that took him from standout wrestler on the Locust Valley High School and Central Connecticut State University Mets to the sidelines, where he has had an equally impressive and successful career as a coach, teacher, and educator at the scholastic, collegiate, club, and youth levels. Many on his wrestling teams became part of the extended family he continued to hold dear. This includes Locust Valley head coach Matt Sanzone, a member of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, whom Ken is humbled to be joining with this evening's induction. Ken credits Sanzone with many of the core values and life lessons he has learned his life by.
Hi, I'm Matt Sanzone, Kenny's high school wrestling coach. Actually, the credit for Kenny joining wrestling belongs to his brother Ronnie, who was on the team at the time when Kenny was a gymnast. Kenny was actually recruited to be a gymnast. But every day at practice, I noticed this little redheaded boy peeking into the wrestling practice facility before being chased back into gymnastics practice by his coach. Well, the rest is history, and what a great history it has been. From the moment Kenny stepped onto the mat, he displayed a confidence and a positive attitude and wrestled like a champion. He always wrestled to win and carried that into every practice, every day that he was on the team. He was a team leader and a great teammate. So it's no surprise to me that you are honoring him today with this great recognition. He has always been a difference maker as a wrestler, as a coach, and as a spokesperson and mover for wrestling in the state of Connecticut. So when I say that I'm very proud, I also speak for the Locust Valley wrestling community, who share my pride with this great honor. And all that you have given to the sport, all your recognition is richly deserved. And I'm very proud to say, Kenny, that I was your high school coach. Great job and congratulations.
Hello, Ken. First, I'd like to congratulate you on this special honor of being inducted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame. It's an honor you truly deserve. Our relationship began when I started my teaching and coaching career as one of your high school wrestling coaches in your senior year and helping you reach the success that you had as a wrestler. Since that time, we have remained close friends and colleagues for nearly 40 years. There is no question you have made a tremendous impact in the sport of wrestling on the high school, college level, as well as your camps and clinics. There are many memories of our early years in running camps together. You continued to run the competitive edge camps for many years, influencing thousands of young wrestlers and improving their skills, techniques, and a love for the sport. This is a unique sport that requires dedication and hard work, which you have shown. Again, congratulations on this special honor, and I know that you will continue to promote this great sport of wrestling.
The journey began in 1973 when Ron DeStefanis scored the first of many championship victories for the sons of Dr. Al and Angela DeStefanis as the family embarked on a domination of the sport of wrestling in Nassau County, New York, and beyond. The brothers DeStefanis, Ron, Ken, Al, Rob, and Carl have won over 125 tournaments, a jaw-dropping 44 individual titles, including 6 New York State high school titles, 8 Nassau County championships, and 30 league, invitational, and conference crowns. They also hold an incredible collective record of 406 and 48. Their family wrestling prowess culminated in Carl's 1984 national championship at Penn State. It was only fitting that the nationally known DeStefanis family's staggering successes and deep-rooted lasting commitments to the sport were recognized in 2012 when they were honored as Long Island's first family of wrestling. After receiving his degree in education, Ken accepted a teaching job in Madison, Connecticut, and was offered the opportunity to coach at Daniel Hand High School as an assistant to Jim Flanagan. He immediately made his mark on the Hand program, with the Tigers winning a team state championship that year. Ken coached his first individual state champion, Carmen Del Vecchio, who has remained in the sport as a highly respected wrestling official.
In 1978, Ken DeStefanis came to Daniel Hand High School in Madison, Connecticut to coach wrestling. It was my senior year, and our team had no idea what to expect with 2 new coaches. Ken brought us a Long Island style of wrestling that none of us had ever experienced before. And by the end of the year, he helped bring Daniel Hand High School its first wrestling state championship. I am proud to be Kenny's first state champ and honored to be able to congratulate him on being inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Ken left Daniel Hand and the scholastic ranks to pursue his interest in coaching college wrestling. He joined Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut as an assistant, where the Cardinal wrestling team took 2nd place at the New England Championships, their highest finish at the time. Ken coached current Wesleyan head football coach and athletic director Mike Whalen to a New England championship. The following season, the late George Redman, Central Connecticut's head coach at the time, was instrumental in bringing Ken back to the New Britain campus. Ken was the ideal choice to take the Central Connecticut wrestling program from the Division II ranks to Division I and make the Blue Devils the most exciting and fastest-growing Division I collegiate program in the country.
Ken is an outstanding individual who has dedicated much of his life to the sport of wrestling, and more specifically to Connecticut wrestling. Without a doubt, Ken DeStefanis was my most significant wrestling mentor. The time that I spent coaching with Ken was the most important learning experience of my coaching career. Under his tutelage, I learned to recruit, motivate, and succeed as a college wrestling coach. During Ken's first year as head coach at Central Connecticut State University, I served as an assistant coach. We were a fairly successful Division II program. When I returned 3 years later to again coach with Ken, he had built the team into a top 40 Division I program that was winning conference titles. Ken DeStefanis has been a major contributor to Connecticut wrestling for well over 30 years. Through his coaching, camps, clinics, and clubs, he has positively influenced a great number of wrestlers from Connecticut and all over the Northeast. Many of these wrestlers have gone on to successful coaching careers and in turn influenced and mentored many additional wrestlers. One of Ken's best traits is his sense of humor. He always has some new jokes to tell. A few years ago, Ken and I took our wives to a comedy club. We had a great dinner, show was hilarious. After the show, Ken is telling jokes to the comedians. That was the best part of the night. My congratulations to Coach DeStefanis on this well-deserved honor.
Hi, my name is Mike Kosis. I was asked to say a few words about Coach Ken DeStefanis on this day of his induction into the Hall of Fame. And I first of all would like to say congratulations, Coach. No one is more worthy. You definitely deserve this without hesitation. I'm surprised it took this long. Actually, maybe you weren't eligible until now, but it's great that you're there. You deserve to be there, and I'm just honored and blessed that you were my coach and that I was asked to say a few words. First of all, Coach DeStefanis means a lot more to all of us than just a coach. I've had a lot of coaches in my day, and especially a lot of wrestling coaches. I've wrestled since I was 5 years old, and I've been involved in the sport for over 35 years. And Coach DeStefanis really was one person who's made incredible impacts in many different ways in my life. Thank you, Coach, for that. He wasn't just a coach. He's and still never just a coach, a mentor, a person who tries to develop character in you, teach you life lessons. Wrestling was really just a side entity to what he taught, and I learned so much that I still use today. Myself as a teacher, as a coach, as an athletic director, as a business owner. I've drawn almost every day on lessons that I learned from Coach DeStefanis. Things that he said, lessons that he taught me, things that I saw him do in watching and the way in which he handled people and situations. He always seemed to have the answers, and the wisdom that I gained from being around him has served me well since then. Over 22 years later, I still, on pretty much a daily basis, draw on something that Coach DeStefanis taught me. He taught character and morals and values and ethics and things that you don't get out of every single coach that you're around. Nowadays, even when people say to me, who were your coaches? Who do you draw from? Who was your inspiration, and so forth, as far as a coach goes? Without hesitation, I say Coach Ken DeStefanis, Central Connecticut State University. and I've had so many coaches, but I still go back to you, Coach. You were and are my coach, and I thank you for that. I don't want to take up too much more time, but I just want to say there's people you come across in your life and you deal with that make an impact, and then there's other people that you just pretty much would forget right away. Coach, you're somebody that's remembered, but not just remembered. The lessons that you've taught are remembered, and I thank you for that. The only problem with this whole scenario, and the thing that just bothers me, is that I won't be able to send my little guy, Luke Kosis, to wrestle for you at Central Connecticut State University. That would be a true honor, and boy, that would really complete the circle. But you know, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. But anyway, I'm still gonna definitely reach out to you with him and bring him to any camps or clinics or anything that you're involved in, because he needs to learn those lessons from you as I did. And I just want to thank you for that, Coach. That's about what I have to say. Congratulations. You absolutely 100% deserve this. I'm so excited that I can now tell everybody that my coach is in the Hall of Fame. God bless, and take care.
When I came this country, Kenny was the first wrestling person I met. He helped me stay involved in what I love most, wrestling. Kenny is excellent coach, excellent person, and excellent friend.
Few coaches can claim the success Ken has had. Under his tutelage and recruiting savvy, the Blue Devils developed into one of the top Division I wrestling programs in New England and the Northeast, while earning national respect and recognition. Central Connecticut took Division I by storm during their first Division I season, finishing with a 17-1 dual meet record and dethroning five-time New England champion Boston University. The Blue Devils earned their first of 3 straight New England championship titles by winning 5 out of 10 weight classes and sending 5 wrestlers to the Division I national championships. Ken orchestrated consistently strong recruiting classes for the Blue Devils, such as in 1988 when it ranked 20th behind such powerhouses as Arizona State, Nebraska, and Iowa State. In 1991-92, Central Connecticut received its first national ranking. 4 of his wrestlers were ranked in the top 28 of their respective weight classes, and the squad captured the East Coast Wrestling Association Championship. He compiled an overall record of 153, 58, and 2, and a winning percentage of .723 that ranked him among the top 20 active wrestling coaches in the nation.
Well, congratulations and welcome to the club, Ken. It's a wonderful honor and well-deserved. Ken is very distinctive from many of the members of the Hall of Fame. First of all, he comes from a royalty in wrestling. One only needs to hear about the DeStefanis of Long Island, and you know who and what they've accomplished. And this is just one more accomplishment for that incredible family. Kenny has been pretty diverse in what he's done in Connecticut. First as a competitor, competed at Central Connecticut and at Southern. And as a coach, he coached on the high school level and was an outstanding coach for Central Connecticut State University, and was in charge of their most successful program. Regrettably, the forces to be dropped that program. Something I'm still not over. Things that I think about when I think of Kenny are generosity. With Kenny's camps, whenever a young person needed to get to the camp but couldn't quite afford it, Kenny found a way and provided those educational opportunities for hundreds of kids over the years. Kenny's energetic, positive, and truly one of the more inspirational people I've ever been around. And so this is well deserved. Congratulations, God bless. Good job, Kenny.
He has coached many Division I New England champions and East Coast Conference champion, and has had 10 wrestlers named as National Freshman All-Stars by Amateur Wrestling News during his career, a tribute to his ability to land some of the most talented freshmen in the country. Over 30 Central Connecticut wrestlers competed in the Division I NCAA National Championships, where Ken had the opportunity to coach against the legendary Dan Gable on many occasions. Ken's coaching prowess and the Blue Devils' success earned him 1987 and 1988 New England Coach of the Year honors, as well as the 1991 East Coast Wrestling Association Coach of the Year. In 1992, Wrestling USA named him Connecticut's Wrestling Man of the Year. Known as a leader for helping wrestlers of all ages, his Competitive Edge Wrestling Camp was recognized as one of the top camps in the nation. In the 27 years of Competitive Edge Wrestling camps and clinics, over 25,000 wrestlers have participated from 23 states and 7 countries. Close to 2,000 coaches have also been part of these camps and clinics teaching, assisting, and learning our great sport. The sport of wrestling has given much to Ken, and in turn, Ken has given much back to the sport he loves, awarding more than 500 scholarships to deserving elementary, junior high, and high school wrestlers to attend his Competitive Edge camps and clinics. American School for the Deaf wrestlers were a part of the camp for many years, as his son Carl played an important role as teacher and sign language interpreter. Ken's illustrious wrestling career has given him many opportunities, including being a featured clinician at the National Wrestling Coaches Convention. The last 2 years, he has had the pleasure of working with Hall of Fame coach Dave Canute and the Southington Youth Wrestling Program.
Hi, my name is Bob Skelton, and I've been afforded the opportunity to say a few words on behalf of my close friend and wrestling colleague, Ken DeStefanis, former head wrestling coach at Central Connecticut State University. As you know, Ken comes from a distinguished wrestling family on Long Island and has done great things and become a great contributor to the state of Connecticut and to New England wrestling over the last 40 years. As assistant coach at Central Connecticut State University, he was one of the driving forces behind George Redmond's success. He became the head coach at Central Connecticut and made it one of the best Division I programs in the Northeast, with regular All-Americans, conference place winners, and some of the best wrestlers in the country. He also was a Connecticut State Junior National coach for many years, both as a manager and as head coach. He's an excellent clinician. He ran private coaching opportunities out of his garage with one-on-one with independent people. He ran the Competitive Edge Wrestling camps for numerous years, and the people that know Kenny the best will be able to tell you that he has done a lot for the coaches in New England and allowed them the opportunity to send kids to camp that couldn't normally afford to come. I know for a fact that he offered numerous scholarships and free rides to these camps over the years. Coaches absolutely clamored to get to work at these camps. They were a lot of fun. They were some of the best coaches in the Northeast, and it was a great opportunity to get together and bond and to share a lot of knowledge with each other. Again, the people that know Kenny the best know he's been a great contributor and done great things for our sport. I can't think of anybody more deserving of an opportunity to go into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in the Connecticut chapter. I could take this opportunity personally to thank him for giving back to our sport and say hello and take a moment to say hello to all my friends in Connecticut Wrestling. Thanks very much and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Congratulations to Ken for being inducted to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. I just want to tell you that you've been a tremendous friend to me and a great mentor. Whenever I needed you, you were there. And I want to say to the committee that you picked the right guy.
I got my wrestling style from my father, and I received a lot of advice from him on how to be a better coach when I was coaching at Hartford Classical Magnet School. In our family, wrestling is a big part of our life. But my father's most important lesson was how to become a better person. He taught me how to overcome adversity in life. And he demonstrated by example a great work ethic. Despite all of his success, I think he's an even better father than he is a coach. And in my opinion, that's saying something.
On behalf of the entire wrestling community in the state of Connecticut, I'd like to congratulate you, Coach DeStefanis, on being inducted into the National Hall of Fame. From the beginning of my wrestling career, the Competitive Edge camps and clinics were a great part of my off-season training. You guided me to understanding and appreciating this great and wonderful sport of wrestling, and a lot of what I accomplished was due to attending those camps and clinics, so I appreciate it greatly. In as I began coaching, you helped my coaching career in helping the youth of Glastonbury become top-notch wrestlers, and also at Southington High School. Running the camp every year in Pomfret has made for some great memories, including going down the water slides and various other fun, bringing in world-class clinicians, and it was truly a lot of fun each year to work at the camp. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. Your mark on Connecticut has been tremendous, and for years and years, the wrestlers that are going to go through Connecticut have you to thank for building the state of Connecticut into what it is. Congratulations once again on being inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Ken holds firm to the belief that wrestling teaches you to do the right thing. He is quick to tell people that when your wrestling career is over, people won't remember you by the championships you've won. They will remember the type of competitor you were, what type of person you were, and what kind of character and integrity you have had. Ken DeStefanis will be remembered for helping make the sport of wrestling stronger on all age levels in the state of Connecticut. Whenever he is near wrestling, he will often be seen taking the time to teach or help a young wrestler with moves, ideas, motivation, and advice. He has worked tirelessly to build a reputation based on principles, his method of coaching, his extraordinary work ethic, and his dedication to the sport of wrestling, a testament to the regard in which Ken is held.